Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the Urdu Seekhiye podcast. This is episode number 3. I'm Shireen.
And I'm Wajia. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Today we'll demonstrate how you can ask someone why he or she is learning Urdu. So, shall we start with part 1?
Let's.
आप उर्दू क्यों सीख रही हैं?
ये मेरे मुल्क की ज़बान है और बहुत खूबसूरत है.
तो आप उर्दू बोल सकती हैं, लेकिन पढ़ और लिख नहीं सकती.
जी, बिल्कुल. Let's hear that one more time before we hear the translation. And we encourage you to please pause and rewind as many times as you need, and be sure to repeat after us.
आप उर्दू क्यों सीख रही हैं?
ये मेरे मुल्क की ज़बान है और बहुत खूबसूरत है.
तो आप उर्दू बोल सकती हैं, लेकिन पढ़ और लिख नहीं सकती.
जी, बिल्कुल. Okay, so now in part 2, we'll provide the translation.
आप उर्दू क्यों सीख रही हैं?
Why are you learning Urdu?
ये मेरे मुल्क की ज़बान है और बहुत खूबसूरत है.
This is the language of my country and is very beautiful.
तो आप उर्दू बोल सकती हैं, लेकिन पढ़ और लिख नहीं सकती.
So you can speak Urdu, but you can't read and write it?
जी, बिल्कुल.
Now on to part 3, where we examine each line in more detail.
So, the first statement is, आप उर्दू क्यों सीख रही हैं? What does that mean, Shireen?
Well, आप means you. And of course, it's the formal case. And if you want to learn more about the 3 different ways of saying you in Urdu, then you should listen to the first episode if you haven't already. So, आप means you, and Urdu is referring to the language. And kyun is a question word, meaning why. Question words come immediately before the verb, like it does in kyun seek rahi hain. So literally, aap Urdu kyun is translated as you Urdu why. And seek rahi means learning. The ing in learning is brought in by the rahi, because seek alone means learn. So then seek rahi together makes it learning. And hain is our to be verb. In this case, it translates to are. So the full question then is, why are you learning Urdu? आप उर्दू क्यों सीख रही हैं?
Well done. The to be verb in Urdu is hona, and it will always come at the end of a sentence. Some examples are, मेरा नाम वजीहा है. मैं खुश हूँ. मैं इस्लामाबाद से हूँ.
That's right. Wajiha, how would I ask, why are you learning Urdu to a man?
To ask a male why he is learning Urdu, you would simply change rahi to rahe. So it would be, आप उर्दू क्यों सीख रहे हैं? Let's talk about ये मेरे मुल्क. ये means this, and मेरे मुल्क means my country. मेरे meaning my, and mulk meaning country. What about ki?
Well, ki here means of, which is a postposition. And those of you who listened to the first episode may remember that the postposition is the equivalent to the English preposition.
Right. Let's move to the next two words before we come back to talking a bit more about the postposition key. So the next two words are zaban hai. What do they mean?
Well, zaban literally means tongue. And in English, we do say mother tongue when referring to language. So zaban here means language. Hai is the to be verb, and in this case translates to is. And we should already know the next word, aur. It means and.
So, ye mere mulk ki zaban hai means this is the language of my country. Let's discuss the second part of that rather long sentence. So, बहुत खूबसूरत means
Bahut is a good word to know. It means very or a lot. It places emphasis on the adjective, which in this sentence is खूबसूरत, meaning beautiful. So together, बहुत खूबसूरत means very beautiful.
right. An example using बहुत is बहुत बीमार, which means very sick. So the full sentence is ये मेरे मुल्क की ज़बान है और बहुत खूबसूरत है. Shireen, what does ये मेरे मुल्क की ज़बान है और बहुत खूबसूरत है mean?
It means this is the language of my country and is very beautiful. Let's move to the next line. तो आप उर्दू बोल सकती हैं, लेकिन पढ़ और लिख नहीं सकती. This translates to
तो simply translates to so. आप उर्दू, we said earlier, means you Urdu. Bol can mean speak or tell. In our case, it means speak. Sakti hain refers to the ability to do something, so it most closely means can. If I say मैं बोल सकती हूँ, then I'm saying I can speak.
So तो आप उर्दू बोल सकती हैं means so you can speak Urdu.
Let's examine the next few words in that question. लेकिन पढ़ और लिख means
लेकिन means but. It's another one of our conjunction words. पढ़ means read. And as we said before, और means and. And finally, लिख means write. If I were to say them alone, then they'd become commands. If I say पढ़, then I'm simply saying read. So together, लेकिन पढ़ और लिख means but read and write. Before we complete this line, let me ask our listeners, how would I ask a man? So you can speak Urdu, but can't read or write it? If you said, तो आप उर्दू बोल सकते हैं, लेकिन पढ़ और लिख नहीं सकते, then you're absolutely right. I'll say that one more time. तो आप उर्दू बोल सकते हैं, लेकिन पढ़ और लिख नहीं सकते. So, sakti becomes sakte when talking to a man. So now let's complete that line. What does nahi sakti mean?
Well, as we mentioned before, sakti refers to ability, and the word that is the English equivalent would be can. As in, I can cook. मैं खाना बना सकती हूँ. But when you put the word नहीं in front of it, then it becomes cannot. So the translation to the question, तो आप उर्दू बोल सकती हैं लेकिन पढ़ और लिख नहीं सकती, is so you can speak Urdu but cannot read and write it. Shireen, what if instead of and I wanted to say or? For example, what if I wanted to say you cannot read or write it?
Good question. The word for or in Urdu is ya. So I would say, लेकिन पढ़ या लिख नहीं सकती? लेकिन पढ़ या लिख नहीं सकती? It would be better to use and, but or is also an option.
Okay, so the last line is pretty easy. G just means yes. There are other ways of saying yes also. You could say G हाँ or हाँ, but G is respectful enough and G हाँ is even more respectful. And bilkul means exactly or absolutely. So together they mean yes, absolutely.
I believe we're done.
Actually, just a quick note. For all the episodes that we release, we'd like to encourage you to see how you can expand on what you have already learned. For example, now you know how to ask, why are you learning Urdu? You can further expand this question to ask about other topics. For example, why are you learning to cook? How would you ask me that, Shireen?
Oh, that would be आप खाना बनाना क्यों सीख रही हैं? And of course, if I'm talking to a man, I'd ask आप खाना बनाना क्यों सीख रहे हैं? And yes, you heard correctly. The infinitive verb to make in Urdu is banana. Make is bana and to make is banana.
That's right. So please continue to explore other ways in which you can use the phrases you learn in each episode. That is what we encourage and support in our Urdu Seekhiye Patreon community. So check out our Patreon page to learn more.
Speaking of support, Wajiha, I know you provide private Urdu lessons to anyone interested over Skype. Could you please share how we can contact you if we want to learn more about private lessons?
I'll go ahead and post the details on our Patreon page. Be sure to visit it to get more information.
Perfect. Thank you to all our listeners for tuning in. We hope to see you again in our next episode, where we show you how you can ask, how do you say in Urdu? Please remember to let us know how you're liking the podcast so far by either visiting our Facebook page or emailing us at urduseekhiye@gmail.com. And make sure to download the accompanying script from our Patreon